Welcome to a video where we are going to take a look at not a Worlds faction matchup, but a King of the Hill matchup that we have. King of the Hill is a single elimination format where about 250 factions were participating, and every round there are last factions in play until one remains. Now, we have two matchups per video that I have here. Let's take a look at the first matchup that I have here. So first up we have Rock, Paper, Slark on the left, and on the right we have Stadium Elite Silver. So Rock, Paper, Slark is like the legacy faction of Wallaber, I believe. Like their captain Greg T was a big community leader within his community, and now I think that's even Waller's cat. I'm not too sure. And they have like a big Twitter following, so they have that going for them. But they also reached quite far in King of the Hill so far, and they're up against Stadium Elite Silver. Now Stadium Elite Gold, unfortunately, just like EU Emperors, is out of World Faction, but Stadium Elite Silver is still going strong. We have two matchups here. We have in the Ultra League and we have in the Master League two matchups. We have SirPharos versus Jonathan Kelly in Ultra League, and we have Hollow Purple against Frag in Master League. Let's take a look at the matchup. First, we take a look at Ultra League. We have SirPharos against Jonathan Kelly. You may know Jonathan Kelly as a content creator. He used to be on Twitch for a while, but I think due to Niantic's recent decisions, he may have been playing way less, just like his good friend FP Sticks, who you might know as well. Anyway, enough about those players themselves. Let's take a look at the teams. We see 4 shadows from SirPharos, and you can kind of afford that to do that in Ultra League as well, because everything is more bulky here, and he covers that bulkiness with the Giratina and the Armored Mewtwo. And that Alolan Sandslash is really good against anything on Jonathan Kelly's team besides that Buzzwole. So Jonathan Kelly really needs to bank on the Buzzwole, and it's kind of difficult to bring because SirPharos' most bulky Pokemon are very good against it. So that makes it kind of iffy. Good thing he also has the Jellicent that puts up a good fight against basically anything. So we also have 12 unique Pokemon on the stage here. So let's take a look at the first battles that we have here in Ultra League. So on the left side we have SirPharos. We have on the right side Jonathan Kelly. We only have the perspective from Jonathan Kelly here. Apparently the recording software from SirPharos didn't work very well. Let's take a look at this first battle. We have the Jellicent into Armored Mewtwo. This is a decent lead for Jonathan Kelly. Now, the only thing about Armored Mewtwo is it looks like SirPharos swaps out anyway, baiting out that Auroras. And this is not a bad matchup if you have Ancient Power. But what I want to say was that Armored Mewtwo is not even that bad against Jellicent, because it also has Side Strike, just like its normal counterpart. And it's still a strong charge move, even in Ultra League, and it also has more bulk there. Anyway, as you see, Ancient Power does a lot of damage. At this point, if you throw one more and it goes unshielded, you can actually flip it if you double shield, as the Giratina. I don't know if SirPharos wants to do that. I think as SirPharos, you kind of always want to bring the Alolan Sandslash, I would think. Is just so strong against Jonathan Kelly. But he lets the Weather Ball go. Going for the farm on the Armored Mewtwo, I would guess. Meteor Beam hits hard on basically anything on SirPharos' team. Like, the coverage is just really good of Ice and Rock against his whole team. This has to be shielded. I'm pretty sure this does over 50%. My goodness, it did not get shielded. It did do a ton of damage. Okay, interesting. Maybe thinking there's a Buzzwole in the back. Right, because it's very likely Jonathan Kelly will bring that because the Alolan Sandslash is so good. But Jonathan Kelly did not respect the Alolan Sandslash at all, and he brought 3 Pokemon that had kind of soft lose to it. They're not bad against it. Aurora's arguably the worst out of the 3, but they still do pretty fine against it. So a little bit of a bamboozle by Jonathan Kelly here, really making SirPharos really thought, okay, Easy has to bring that Buzzwole, right? I'm gonna bring both Mewtwo and Giratina so I can cover the Alolan Sandslash. And then Jonathan Kelly did not bring it at all. He decides to bring his Registeel into Armored Mewtwo. This used to be an okay matchup really back in the days before Registeel was XL. And then this matchup was not that bad. Now Registeel is XL and it's way more bulky. Because these tickle now. They do nothing. In comes Alolan Sandslash. Not throwing a Focus Blast. Going for the Surf right away. I don't mind this per se. Registeel could have taken the shield real quick. But this way You also, I mean, Jensen gets to the stairs really fast, right? It's like 4 and then 3 hexes. It's really quick. Jerome won't even KO yet here, but Shadow Claws really add up, and that's what makes this matchup quite good for Alolan Sandslash. So, yeah, you take this out, and then there are no more shields left on SirPharos' side, and you get to that. You get to the next serve. That should take it out from here, I think. Lets it go. Going to finish with the. Look, still Chunks does a good, very reasonable damage because Jelson's quite bulky. We're going to close out with the Registeel. This is also a very safe play. And I will take out the Armored Mewtwo. That's a 1-0 score for Jonathan Kelly. So where you really would expect the Buzzwole from Jonathan Kelly because it's his only Alolan Sandslash answer, really. He didn't bring it at all. SirPharos really focused on countering the Alolan Sandslash, the Buzzwole, and it just wasn't there. Let's take a look at game number 2. Let's see if Jonathan Kelly brings that Buzzwole now. We have the Auroras into... Ooh, that's not a great lead. He brings the same 3 Pokemon as we see here. And this is probably your worst of the 3. Probably expected the Nidoqueen or Dragonite or Giratina. Actually, yeah. I don't know. I don't know about the Nidoqueen. It probably has worse matchups than what other Pokemon can do. Really, it does do well against the Buzzwole, obviously. Probably pretty well against Pidgeot and Registeel. Especially since he's not running Flash Cannon, Jonathan Kelly. Nidoqueen does quite fine there. Swapping in the Jellicent after taking a shield. A Jellicent can take these charge attacks just way easier. Okay, and looks like SirPharos still staying in. If you can get rid of this Alolan Sandslash, you might just be fine, but I would not be surprised. Okay, no double shield. And Alolan Sandslash is just bulky enough to take that move as well. You kind of have to shield this. You don't have any fast move pressure on this Alolan Sandslash. In comes Giratina now, finally. Now, this is gonna do a chunk, but both Pokemon are really bulky, so they both can take it really well. Yeah, what do you do with Auroras at this point, though? It doesn't have a lot of HP left, and this Giratina gets the full farm down. Oh, don't get the Surf off. That's unfortunate. Let's see. This is an Ancient Power range, so that's not great. But deciding to tank it all on the Registeel. Again, everything is... I highly doubt there's Shadow Sneak Ancient Power on this Giratina. There is! Okay, never mind. There's Shadow Sneak Ancient Power. Still, Shadow Sneak is a pretty bad charge attack, so Registeel won't really feel much of these. Another one. Really bulky. That's kind of Ultra League for you, right? It's those matches take kind of long. And now finally going into the Auroras. Onset by that Sandslash again. This Weather Ball will not KO because it's double resisted. And what do you need in the back to win this game? Yeah, that doesn't KO just yet. I would expect the... Ooh, barely doesn't get the farm down. I would expect the Armored Mewtwo again, probably. Just for its bulk. Right, maybe playing a little bit ABB against the Buzzwole. Do you have a chance, any chance if there's the Armored Mewtwo in the back? Probably the Giratina comes back in, yep. You have to expend a lot of energy here, unfortunately. Now, what do we need in the back to win this as Jonathan Kelly? No shoot it. And you get the farm down. Doesn't get to... Okay, maybe. Yeah, it is an Armored Mewtwo. He's playing... Looks like SirPharos chose for an ABB strat against that Buzzwole. Which, again, wasn't around. But I don't think Registeel is good enough to take all of this. I don't know. If you get another debuff, that Dynamic Punch won't KO. And it just takes very long for him, for SirPharos to get there. It is the Dynamic Punch, no bait. Hold up. Let this man cook. Let him cook. Another no-shoot. Oh, no, but no debuff this time. Honestly, though, even if he got the debuff... Oh, and he barely gets there, too. Even if he got the debuff, the Dynamic Punch would definitely KO from here, so... yeah, really close game, actually. Registeel almost making it there. And that ties the score to 1-1 between SirPharos and Jonathan Kelly. These battles have been pretty long, as because we see some of the bulkiest Pokemon here in Ultra League. Game number 3. A decisive one. We have Registeel into Giratina. This is somewhat neutral. If you get the debuffs, this is a very easy win for Registeel in the long run. And you gotta stay in there, because this time looks like Jonathan Kelly did bring the Buzzwole. Okay. A charge attack priority on that Shadow Sneak. Man, this is gonna take a while. If you have Flash Cannon, it just becomes way less bait dependent, which I like way more, to be honest. But yeah. On the other hand, though, Zap Cannon covers other things nicely. It's nice to get the debuff regardless, even in your neutral matchups. Go for another one. You know there's gonna be a lot of sensors in the back, so very likely that Jonathan Kelly's just gonna stay in this. But man, with the debuff, that Shadow Sneak does nothing. That does nothing. Although this guillotine gets him really low, though. This might get to a timeout battle matchup even. All right, Zap Cannon coming through now. Can you lock on this down? I don't know if you can. Man, this Zeros really got close like this. Does nothing still. Oh, actually, I think you could have got the lock on down here. Well, just playing it safe. Nothing wrong with that, really. Let's see what comes in. The Alolan Sandslash. This is what Jonathan Kelly wanted. And in comes that Mewtwo. Yeah, you gotta get out of this, but I see what Jonathan Kelly's going to do. He's gonna debuff this first. The problem here is, if this lands, you could probably go straight Ice Cold. Weather Ball. Now you have to go for the Meteor Beam on this, though. A Dynamic Punch will do so much damage here, so you kind of have to shoot anything at this point. It is a Side Strike bait, which saves like 5 energy. Maybe a confusion in the long run. But I think at this point you can really go straight Meteor Beam as Jonathan Kelly. Boom! And that raises your attack, so that's nice, I guess. Yeah, let's go. It looks like, in that case, I think that SirPharos kind of gave up. Perhaps was hoping to call a Weather Ball bait, but Jonathan Kelly did not bait there at all. And yeah, letting that go. I think that's an undercharge. Doesn't really matter anyway. Buzzwole just counters down the Alolan Sandslash at this point. Yeah. Didn't give up yet, maybe, but doesn't really matter. Just shield there. And double super effective counts take out this Alolan Sandslash. That's a 2-1 win for Jonathan Kelly. Going for the lunge. Good one. This is resisted. I wonder if this will take it out. And lunge takes out that Alolan Sandslash. Alright, those were some long battles, but 2-1 win. Very important for Stadium Elite Silver. Let's take a look at Frag's matchup now. The second matchup that we have between these two factions is Hollow Purple against Frag Wagon. Hollow Purple, mainly known for being a staff in Play Pokemon Tournament, and Frag Wagon, known for being an absolute whale of a player, literally rating anything he can. And well, it explains why he plays Master League, because he basically has everything. Let's take a look at the matchup here. We have both Hoenn Titans here, Groudon and Kyogre, Hollow Purple side, complemented with a Primarina. Primarina is basically always like a filler with good coverage but weak stats. And then there's Double Steel to cover like Dragonite, I would assume. And Mega Altair is always interesting. It has really good typing against opposing dragons and like water and like Kyogre. However, it's just really weak in stats. So yeah. Like even Precipice Blades from Groudon, it can't take really well. And then Frag Wagon running into Ursaluna again, really likes it since the Ice Punch update. Add some wicked Pokemon. I don't know about this Landorus, Therian form, Genesect. If you have all of them, you can run a very flexible Pokemon in that. Not a lot of people run Ho-Oh, so it's quite a safe pick. I do like it as well, and it counts Mewtwo as well. And Axris is one of the better picks at the moment as well. Let's take a look at the battles. We have on the left. So I think at this stage of the bout, it was quite even between these two players. We have Hollow Purple's team on the left. We have Frag and Wagon's team on the right. I only have one perspective, that of Frag and Wagon. Hollow Purple decided to don't know wall me, not reply at all. So only a Frag side here. Let's take a look at these bouts. I think this recording took like 20 seconds. Yeah, here we go. Before it started, Hexrus into Metagross. This is a decent lead for Frag and Wagon. Except if you don't run Night Slash, and he is not. He's running Earthquake for that surprise. I guess that covers the Primarina a little bit better, right? And going straight for that Breaking Swipe. I do like this because that debuffs the Metagross right away, and Hexrus is just really fragile. So even those bullet punches, not the best fast attack, but they still add up really well on Hexrus, and obviously that attack is also backed by the really good stats behind Metagross, right? I'm not sure if you get to 2 moves here as the Metagross. You probably do without shielding. Looks like Hollow Purple does decide to shield that to get this. Yeah, because I don't think there was Breaking Swipe range just yet. If you want to farm this down as Frag and Wagon and secure the switch advantage, you gotta shield that move. Let's take a look here. Gonna try and go for that farm down. I think you do get the farm down completely, and Hexrus comes out with so much energy. Unless there's a Primarina on the back, this is really good for Frag and Wagon, because you can debuff anything in the back at this point. Obviously, debuffing and then swapping in a Slowbro, probably making an assumption what could be in the back here. It could be the Groudon. Would make a lot of sense because it's one of the stronger Pokemon that Hollow Purple has on his team. And Altaria could have been really tough as well, but I think that would have that Hollow Purple would have brought it into that Hexrus then. And look at that. That Thunder didn't even bring this Slowbro into the yellow. Look at that. Very clever undercharge from Frag and Wagon. Forces Hollow Purple to swap out. But now you have to deal with a little bit of Kyogre later, which can be a little bit tedious because, like, Kyogre is a pretty bulky Pokemon. And Slowbro looks to be kind of a core break here. With Confusion, it's much better against that Kyogre. You do become slightly worse against this Groudon, which has to throw a full Precipice Blades here. This is not looking great for Frag as much. However, you do still have so much energy on that Hexrus. So there's that. You have that going for you. And Hexrus is high attack, so these moves really add up. And you know what's even better about Hexrus? You win CMP against Groudon. Hexrus has an insane attack stat. So yeah, almost taking it out. Almost. It's at 1 HP. However, there's a full Zacian in the back. And yeah, that you're not just gonna take that one out. Let's see if it's Snarl or Quick Attack. It is Quick Attack, which is a little bit more flexible, a little bit quicker. Doesn't charge as fast as Snarl, but it's just a little bit more flexible. And in comes the Groudon. We also briefly saw the Wild Charge player of moveset there, so really not expecting that extra drill perhaps from Hollow Purple. Again, more prepared for that Primarina. We didn't see any Mega Altaria from Hollow Purple. Makes sense. Zacian is a threat from Fragan. Let's take a look at game number 2. We have Ursaluna into Metagross. This is an interesting matchup because yes, Ursaluna is a ground type. Yes, Ursaluna one-shots Metagross with high horsepower and some tackles. But it takes very long to get there, and tackle is not great against Metagross. You can take this move quite well. Ursaluna is bulky like that, but I think you need to double bait to win the 2 shields here. Let's take a look at what Fragan does. He is going for the Ice Punch bait here. I don't know why you want to run Ice Punch here. I guess for Groudon and Altaria, but yeah, I don't know. There's a merit for everything, I guess. Fire Punch is a little bit better against Steel types. Thunder Punch is a little bit better against the Kyogre. And going to play out that 1 shields here. Yeah, I guess Ice Punch does make sense. But it does worse against Primarina. He's just toying with his movesets here. And Hollow Purple going 2 shields down here. It's going to be tricky. Switch advantage can be really important here if there is Primarina in the back. We don't know yet, though. If it's the same team, the Slowbro and the Hexrus look really good at now. And that might just be what Fragan is thinking here. It's the same team, so I can just deal with the back line with my Hexrus because it's really good against like Kyogre. However, Slowbro still needs to get rid of this Metagross. It's not going to happen easily. You do have a somewhat decent matchup here because you resist the bullet punches, but because you also run Confusion, those are also double resisted. So it makes it somewhat even. No shield. Really going to throw it all on the Hex. Look at that. Can you even farm this down? Fragan doesn't think so. He swaps out immediately. And in the back is the Primarina, yeah. It is also Charm. If it was Waterfall, maybe you could KO it with an Earthquake. But yeah, and look, going straight for the Breaking Swipe. I like this a lot from Fraggin, although it does stall our time, so that's not great. But not revealing the Earthquake, right? It could be a nice surprise for later. Going for another one. What could Fraggin have on his Haxorus by now? He has not revealed it yet. He's going straight Breaking Swipe on the Primarina. I don't know. But what I do know is that this battle's over. Still throwing his move. Probably want to see what is in the back. I would expect Groudon or Kyogre. Those are just really strong Pokemon on Hollow Purple's team. Yeah, it is the Kyogre. But despite your good matchup here, it's not gonna win that with so little HP. And you didn't even get to use the last shield. That's quite unfortunate. Score is 1-1 at the moment. Take a look at game number 3 here between these two players. We've seen a lot of Kyogre from Hollow Purple. But it's not only, we see the same lead again from Hollow Purple here. I guess really realizing that there's not a lot that really beats the Metagross. Like, I guess there's Landorus, but everything else is so-so. Especially Haxorus without Night Slash is very so-so. Meteor Mash comes in, does get shielded, and going straight for the Earthquake. He hasn't revealed anything yet here, Fraggin, so this might get no shield. If it does get shielded, it really sucks for him. And it goes through. That's actually big. And in comes Kyogre. I wonder what you have in the back if you decide to bring Kyogre in here. Might value the other Pokemon just more that's in the back. Maybe making a hard call on Purple here. Maybe expecting the Slowbros to realizing this Pokemon might just not be useful. But yeah, no Primarina in the back. Look at that. That doesn't even KO. You get to another Breaking Swipe even. Ooh, a little bit tough timing there from Fraggin. Loses on a counter, but doesn't really matter as much, I think. Nah, doesn't matter. I think your Coyote is in one confusion, actually. But brings in the Zacian, knows that it's likely Growl on the back. See the play rough Wild Charge moveset. This is not over yet. Groudon with a shield up, pretty strong. Pretty strong. Does shield the first move, that makes sense. This Precipice Blades won't KO, it will do so much damage though. It's a Fire Punch. Hollow Purple baiting here, which isn't really in his favor. Doesn't matter as much in HP wise because you still outpace to our Precipice Blades here, which goes unshielded now. But you do expend a little bit more energy, which is unfortunate because you need all that energy here. Slowbro doesn't build very quickly, and Precipice Blades is very strong, but you're gonna need at least two of them. Yeah, good shield by Frag in there. I want to see how much that does, though. Oh, Hollow Purple's not giving up, though. That's a really good catch from him on the Kyogre. Go for the no bubble, and you might actually get another confusioning. You do, actually. You still need 2 Precipice Blades at this point. Let's see. Surf going through here. Go shoot up makes sense. Let me see how much that Precipice Blades does. I don't know. I really don't know. I want to know. Slowbros were like really bulky. Oh. Yeah, that does a lot of damage. And this has to be a Fire Punch. You cannot have Precipice Blades within one of throwing another. Yeah, this is a Fire Punch. Does not KO the Slowbro. He has a Surf. And that's a 2-1 victory from Frag. And despite that really good catch from Hollow Purple, the Slowbro was just a massive core breaker here. For that really strong core that Hollow Purple brought, right? The Kyogre and the Groudon. Let's take a look at what the score is between these two teams now. This is single elimination, so whoever loses it here is out. So let's take a look at how this bout exactly went for Stadium Elite Silver and Rock Paper Slark. We see here, right here, that Rock Paper Slark lost 5-16. Unfortunately, a very tough loss. They had a really good run until now, but yeah, that just happens. It is a single elimination format, and they got really far. I think they can be very proud of where they got. Thank you, Jonathan Kelly and Fragant, for sending in your recordings, and we'll have more King of the Hills videos as well. Hope you liked the video, and have a good one.